A historic storm is going to be moving through the central and northern U.S. over the next couple of days. It could bring absolutely incredible snowfall totals way up north, some ice as well, and a lot of severe weather down south. Who all will be impacted and when will you all be impacted? We'll find out in today's video. Good evening, everyone. This is Atmospheric Alex here, under the weather unfortunately, and welcome back to another U.S. weather forecast outlook and discussion. We're going to be discussing a pretty big storm system coming right up. We're going to start off the video here with some of our analysis data. We are currently talking about some snow going on. This is actually the beginning of our historic winter storm. That'll be impacting portions of the Great Lakes here, as we head into tonight, going all the way through Monday night, if even longer than that. It's going to be quite rough coming up. As we take a look at our current weather alerts, oh my goodness, we have a lot to talk about here. Everywhere in our tan-colored areas are wind alerts. We're talking about wind advisories, high wind warnings being in effect. And you can see all this in your orange up here is your blizzard warnings. We have a lot of blizzard warnings that are ongoing. This is I think the most I have ever seen on a weather map before, or some of the most I've ever seen. And you can see other winter-related alerts as well up there. It is going to get extremely active over the next few days. We have to watch this very closely. As we head into our winter storm severity index here, we can be talking about a major impact here for portions of northern Wisconsin and portions of central to southern Minnesota. We even have some little purple pockets here of extreme impacts being possible starting tonight. So this is definitely something we all need to be watching out for closely. As we head into tomorrow, we are talking about a large area of extreme impacts here as going to be present due to extraordinarily heavy snow. Historic amounts of snow will be falling at this time. Marquette, Michigan, you're under an extreme risk. Portions here, other portions of Michigan, I'm not going to try and pronounce town names while I'm sick. That's probably a bad idea. But you can see, we are talking about quite a significant winter storm, historic winter storm moving through your area. Anywhere in your red colors, you really need to be mindful of this and need to take this as seriously as possible. As we take a look at our significant historic winter storm here on our HRRR model, if we can get to load here, we're talking about some moderate snow starting in portions of North Dakota, South Dakota, going points further east. Actually, right about now, this is kind of taking place. As we head into tonight, we're starting to notice some heavy snow starting to fall across portions of Minnesota, like Minneapolis. You could be talking about heavy snow starting around midnight tonight, and this will continue on through. Take a look at this. Very heavy snow falling, for portions up here of northeastern Wisconsin, portions of the UP of Michigan, and this is going to continue. This is tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, as we head into tomorrow night, and this really just does not end. It keeps going on and on and on. And as we head into Monday afternoon, it is still dumping snow here. We're talking about a lot of lake effect snow on the backside here. So 48 hours of snow is going to be likely for quite a lot of areas. And albeit, some of this snow can be really heavy and will be falling in very cold temperatures. And we're now going to get a better look at this event with our National Weather Service's snowfall forecast here. Across portions of North Dakota, we're not expecting all too much snow. It'll mainly be confined to the southeastern side of the state here. Nothing too much that we're talking about. We'll kind of continue moving on through here. I'm going to have to keep refreshing these images as we continue to go. Portions of South Dakota, in your Black Hills, we are talking around a foot of snow being possible in some areas. Portions here of northeastern South Dakota, talking around 6 inches of snow being possible up there as well. As we continue to advance further off to the southeast, it looks like here, we're talking quite a bit of snowfall here, around 1 to 4 inches in Sioux Falls. Take a look at this up here. Look at that, 10 to 15 inches for Redwood Falls there, 9 to 15 for Marshall. A lot of snow on the docket here that is going to be moving through. Even portions of northern Nebraska going to get absolutely cooked with snow. And we're just going to continue rolling through. As we head into Iowa, generally between 3 to 6 inches of snow for the entire state. Portions of eastern Iowa could receive a little bit more. And unfortunately, this is going to come with a bit of a price. We're talking about some ice being possible here. Not a lot, but just enough to cause issues. Nice little glazing on the roads is going to be possible in northern Iowa here. So if you're going out on the roads, be very careful. It's going to be very slick, very icy out there, and travel will be hazardous. Now, once again, eastern Iowa, lots of snow. Northwestern Illinois here, we're talking upwards of 6 inches of snow being possible. But as we continue to roll on through our graphics, we're taking a look now up into portions of Wisconsin, where in central Wisconsin, like Sauk City, there could see 6 to 10 inches of snow. Madison between 5 and 10. Look at this up here. Berlin, 10 to 18 inches. And we're getting to some of our higher totals. Wisconsin Dells between 8 to 14 inches. So up as we go into central Wisconsin, our totals become quite a lot higher and a lot more serious in magnitude here. In terms of our high-end snowfall, our 1 in 10 or 10% chance, we're talking nearly 2 feet of snow being possible near Berlin, Wisconsin, and points north. But you've not seen anything yet. We're saving up kind of the worst for last here, if you will. Now, as we take a look at our future icing, things are going to get very hazardous out here. We're talking around 1/4 of an inch of ice here in central Wisconsin. That could be very serious. Please stay off the roads if you can. I mean, this is definitely going to be causing issues. We could be talking about some branches coming down, some isolated, maybe even scattered power outages. Be very mindful of this. We're talking about quite a bit of ice here across central Wisconsin. In terms of our 1 in 10 chance here, this is going to be very significant. We're talking 1/4 of an inch of ice, even 3/10 of an inch of ice being possible on our high end. That is definitely quite hazardous. Now, here is when things start to get a lot more serious as we head into portions of kind of getting closer to northern Wisconsin here, and then portions off to the west of this. Twin Cities here, we're talking around 12 to 23 inches of snow being possible. As we head into Wisconsin, Medford, Wisconsin, between 17 to 33 inches of snow. That is quite serious for you all. Portions over here, a lot of snow as well. So our totals, the further north you go, the more significant they're going to get, obviously, with our winter storm. As we take a look at our 10% chance here, this is when things really get a little bit out of control. Look at this for Antego in Wisconsin, 41 inches of snow being possible. That is insane. Talking around 38 inches of snow in some other areas. There's going to be some significant high-end potential with this blizzard. I mean, part of me does believe that these high-end potentials will verify, if not even exceed the current forecast. We're going to have to wait and see on that as we continue to move on through, because not all this data goes far enough out quite yet. But a lot of icing is going to be likely across, again, central Wisconsin, southeastern portions of Minnesota, upwards of 1/4 of an inch of ice. That's enough to cause significant issues. And then as we continue through with our high-end totals, again, that is definitely not what you want to see. Getting closer to our Twin Cities area, we're talking around potentially 18 inches of snow for portions of this area right within here, potentially even more. That is something we need to watch out for. And then our high-end amounts here, we're talking definitely quite a lot of snow, over 20 inches in a lot of these areas. But you all, I'd say, are pretty much used to totals this extreme, but not as extreme as what I'm about to show you in the next few minutes. Northern Wisconsin here, our expected snowfall totals, listen up here. Crandon, Wisconsin, 22 to 41 inches of snow is expected. That's a lot. That's crazy. Land O'Lakes upwards of 17 to 33 inches. Sturgeon Bay closing in on 30 inches there. And this is going to become a very big issue, and you're going to see that in just a minute as we head further north. Our 10% or 1 in 10 chance here of snow, we're talking about 4 feet of snow being possible here. Anywhere shaded in your kind of lavender colors, that is 48 plus inches of snow, and that covers quite a few areas. Look at this. Definitely going to be talking about a lot of significant issues in these areas here. Some icing is also going to be possible. Upwards of 1/10 to 2/10 of an inch of icing possible, but northern Wisconsin, not nearly as much. Here is when things get out of control. Pellston, Michigan, 14 to 22 inches of snow. Sault Ste. Marie, 18 to 30 inches of snow. As we go over here to Newbury, 26 to 38 inches. Marquette, Michigan, 24 to 42 inches of snow is expected. Yeah, I have not seen numbers that high in a very long time in terms of our expected snow. But just you wait until I show you the 1 in 10 chance here. Look at this, all right? This is not a joke, folks. 51 inches of snow for Marquette. 60 inches of snow for some other isolated locations in that general vicinity. 60 inches. We're talking 5 feet of snow is going to be possible, if not even likely, in some of those areas. Some models pumping out 60 inches already. I mean, look at this. Sault Ste. Marie, 36 inches. Newbury, 47 being possible. Lots of snow is on the way. Now, unfortunately, in this part of Michigan, icing is a very big issue. We're talking crippling amounts of ice being possible. Over a half an inch of ice is possible for Gaylord, Michigan. We're even talking around 3/4 of an inch is going to be possible here, but that might be over the water. We'll have to wait and see. As we take a look again at our Marquette area, 42 to 44 inches of snow is going to be possible. In some other areas, less snow as you get closer to the water, which would make sense because we're going to have very damaging winds being possible. Over 50 inches of snow is going to be likely for all these areas right within here, which, I mean, that is something I didn't think I would have to ever say. And again, isolated locations upwards of 60 to even 65 inches could be possible. Wow, that is impressive. A little sneak peek at our icing. Could see upwards of an inch of ice in Gaylord. That is very serious, and you need to take that very seriously and get prepared now. Further off to the west here, my gosh, there's a lot to go over, isn't there? We're not even done. We have the severe weather side to cover next. But we're talking around 4 to 9 inches for Duluth and then all their areas you can see on your screen. A lot of snow for your high-end amounts. And heading back over here, Grand Forks, 1 to 3 inches of snow. Fargo between 2 to 5 here. Blowing snow is going to be a big concern. Again, this is your blowing snow capital of the nation, basically. Yeah, if you all didn't know that, blowing snow likes to happen in this valley right within here. You get a lot of winds concentrated in one area, and lots of snow blowing around. Now, we're not only expecting snow up north, but we could also be seeing snow a lot further south, believe it or not. This is kind of incredible to look at. But you can see we have our severe weather event. We'll talk about that a little later in the video. But here is our back end snow moving into portions of Missouri as we head into potentially tomorrow evening. Portions of Arkansas there. But look at this. Talking about portions just behind this line, we could be talking about a burst of moderate to maybe even very heavy snow in the portions of southern Indiana, central Kentucky, and the portions of middle Tennessee being possible. Nashville, yeah, we're talking about very heavy snowfall, potentially tomorrow night. And this will continue on through very, very heavy snow moving into the plateau here of East Tennessee, basically an antifront type setup here. And look at all those snow showers a little bit further north, and we are definitely going to be talking about here. I do think the HRRR model is underestimating the amount of snow showers and snow squalls as we head into Monday morning. But you could see snow showers across portions of West Tennessee back here, like Martin. You could see some snow flying around Monday morning. Portions of middle to eastern Tennessee also talking about some snow showers. The RAP model, kind of similar to HRRR, actually shows a large swath of heavy snow into East Tennessee on Monday morning. Not a forecast at all. I don't really think that'll happen, but we'll continue watching models. You can see snow squalls begin to light up the screen as we head into Monday afternoon. 0 mile visibility will be possible in some of these, especially near the Nashville area, the Smyrna area back here. Could be talking about quite a few issues in terms of travel. Now, finally, we get to move on to our severe weather risk, because there's definitely a lot to talk about here. Talk about an enhanced risk, a level 3 out of 5 on the severe weather scale that is going to be in effect for tomorrow across a pretty large chunk of our Ohio Valley and Mississippi Valley here. including a lot of different areas. As we go ahead and take a look at some of our other parameters, our tornado potential here, we're talking around a 10% risk for tornadoes. Maybe a few of those could be strong here across portions of West Tennessee. That's something we're going to have to watch out for. This, as of right now, is a 1 out of 3 on our intensity scale, so wouldn't worry too much about tornadic activity, but we're going to have to wait and see. I would still stay very weather aware. If you have a weather radio, please, I would still turn on your emergency alerts on your phone, especially in portions of West Tennessee, northern Alabama / Mississippi, and portions of eastern Arkansas and southern Kentucky. You need to have a way to get weather warnings tomorrow for sure. And a lot of other areas under your tornado risk as well. Our wind risk, we're talking around a 45% chance of wind within 25 miles of a given point, a 1 out of 3 in our intensity scale, so gusts between 60 to 75 miles an hour will be possible out of our storms tomorrow. In terms of our hail risk, not much hail, but a little bit further off to the south, maybe some large hail being possible. Now, let's take a good look at our timing of our severe weather tomorrow. Now, again, we have a lot of uncertainty, unfortunately. A lot of models are disagreeing with each other, but we could try to get a somewhat good idea. We're talking around 2 to 3 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. Strong storms will begin to develop across portions of Arkansas, Missouri, portions of Illinois there, and they're going to continue to move on through. We're talking this getting a little bit more intense. Line of severe thunderstorms cruising on through, stretching from Chicago, Illinois, potentially, all the way down to Shreveport, Louisiana. This is going to be a very widespread risk for severe weather. My goodness. You can see this moving through a lot of different areas. West Tennessee, we're talking around probably between 6 to 8 p.m. tomorrow evening. Look at that line of severe storms moving on through your area. Again, a very large line here. We could be talking about wind gusts between 60 to 75 miles an hour. Tornadoes being possible. We're likely going to see a ton of weak tornadoes tomorrow along the line, along the quasi-linear convective system that'll be moving through. You're going to get basically a weak tornado spam across the line, so we got to watch out for that. As we head further east, these storms may continue to intensify just a bit more until they kind of drop off in intensity moving into portions of East Tennessee. But I need to mention something real quick. So the HRRR shows a line, but if we are able to see maybe some supercells ahead of your line, that is where a strong tornado risk could be possible. So we got to really watch out for that. And as we move into tomorrow night, just after midnight, this rolls through East Tennessee, likely still a line of severe thunderstorms going into Knoxville, Sevierville, Tennessee. You all need to be ready for this. And then this will continue on through, and we could be talking about more severe weather going into Monday. I meant to cover that, but we don't have enough time in this video, and there's a lot of uncertainty. But we could potentially be talking about a more significant severe weather / tornado risk on that day. Storm energy is going to be a bit of a concern because we're not going to have much to work with. In portions of our southern mode, around 2,000 Cape, that's going to be enough to sustain severe weather. But as we move a little further north, not as much, maybe just around 1,000, maybe just 500, but that could uptrend. But you can see it's enough to carry our line through the night. Something we're going to watch for. Our helicity here, anywhere in your green colors is supportive of a tornado. Anywhere in your gold colors is supportive of a strong tornado. And you can see West Tennessee, definitely a strong tornado risk is going to be developing. But you could see our tornado risk continuing into Middle Tennessee and going into East Tennessee. It definitely could still see a strong tornado risk. We'll have to wait and see. Definitely not likely, but a possibility. Going a little further off to the north here, you could see we do in fact have 1,000 Cape, pretty much stretching. I mean, you can see how far this goes from here to here, and that's something we're going to have to watch out for. And something that not a lot of people have been talking about is this. A little bit of a triple point starting to set up here. Could be talking about maybe a conditional strong tornado risk. I don't want to say that yet, but if this event does uptrend just a little bit more, potentially see a strong tornado here. We're going to have to watch for that. But you can see just barely enough storm energy making it up. I would like to see more, but this is just enough to sustain a significant severe event. As we head into your helicity here, we're definitely talking about enough helicity. Again, watch out for that area. Central Illinois wouldn't be so surprising. but you can see a strong tornado risk does exist in West Tennessee. Places like Martin, Tennessee, Jackson, Tennessee, you all need to watch out very closely. Turn your weather radios on if you have one, or if not, turn your emergency alerts on your phone so you know when a tornado warning gets issued, because I do expect a lot of tornado warnings to get issued along that line, and I personally think that a lot of areas will end up under a tornado warning, if I'm being honest, but we'll have to wait and see on that. And then this will just continue on through the night. One last thing, and I promise I'm going to lose my voice. I swear I shouldn't have done this while I was sick, but, this is an emergency, so it kind of had to happen. Our wind gusts for tomorrow. Look at this across your high plains, gusting between 50 to 60 plus miles an hour. We have a lot of high wind warnings up. And then for portions out here in the Central U.S., gusts between 40 to 50 miles an hour out of your line of storms. Places in West Tennessee getting up to around 45 miles an hour. And then you could see the line of storms. HRRR doesn't really portray your winds too well with the storms. However, it's going to be pretty strong. As we take a look further up to the north with our blizzard, we're going to have damaging winds throughout the entire area, potentially gusting up to 70 miles an hour near Marquette, Michigan. And again, it gets its second wind as we head into Monday morning. But I need to close off this video because I'm going to lose my voice. All right, and with that being said, thank you all so much for tuning into today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please smash the like button, subscribe to my little corner of the weather community, share this video with friends and family on social media, and even leave a comment in the section below if you have any future suggestions for me next. That being said, please stay very weather aware out there. Have a wonderful night, everyone. And I'm going to try and get better over the next few days because I probably should not have recorded this video today, if I'm being honest. Have a wonderful night, everyone. Stay safe.